This is all a part of bearing down on volume crime, on shoplifting, on robbery and thefts of phones, which we know is a big concern to people. We're putting more officers and more clever technology into doing this, particularly focused in the West End, but also in other parts of London. There are some groups who are concerned about it, but we've done surveys. The vast majority of the public are keen on the technology, and the results it gets are enormous. We've had it independently tested. We've got accreditation from National Physical Laboratory that it's accurate and it's fair. We're only using it to look for serious offenders like wanted offenders and registered sex offenders, and we routinely put it out there and capture multiple serious offenders in one go. Many of them who've committed serious offences against women or children, or people who are wanted for armed robbery. It's a fantastic piece of technology. It's very responsibly used, and that's why most public support it. We have to respond to what's out there, don't we? So anyone can see the scale of protest. The numbers of protests have grown over the last couple of years. We don't have any powers that are there to reduce the number of protests, to cancel them. Our laws are very permissive and encouraging of protests, which is entirely understandable, and I've got no objection to that. But what we've seen, unfortunately, is a proportion of those create crime and offences, and so our teams, we've got to increase those. But most of what we're talking about today is about we're launching the next phase of our plans in terms of improving the policing of London. The first phase, New Met for London, has had enormous success. Confidence and trust are growing in London. It's higher than most of the parts of the other big cities in the country. London's a really safe place to live and work. I mean, injury violence is lower in London than other cities. Murder in London is lower than every state in America. It's lower than New York, it's lower than Toronto, it's lower than Berlin, it's lower than Barcelona, it's lower than Brussels, it's lower than Paris. And through these plans, we've tripled the number of people we're charging with offences against women and girls. So we've made massive strides. What's next? So we're launching that plan today as part of it. Even though we've got difficult financial times, we're having to make cuts in certain parts of the organisation, some things are so important, we're still putting more resource into them. And today we're talking about putting more resource into facial recognition that you've mentioned, into the flying squad who help deal with the organised crime behind robberies of shop premises and that sort of thing, as well as putting 80 more officers into the West End, 80, and 90 more officers into a handful of town centres across London to increase on the results we've delivered so far. So the challenge is not so much the whole. We will always spend the money we're given. Unfortunately, the amount of money we've got this year means we're getting smaller, and we've got smaller over the last 3 years. That's a challenge. But I lead some fantastic, determined, can-do people, and they do extraordinary things day in and day out. So what we're having to do is to become better organised and more focused on the issues that matter most of all to Londoners. One of those is day-to-day crime in town centres. People want to feel safe walking in town centres. The sort of crime that happens there is going down already. We want to do even better than that, and that's why we're putting these extra resources in. I mean, I was hearing some numbers in the round table we had earlier on today with London's businesses who are really positive about the steps we're taking. The West End generates, I was told there, £50 billion for the UK economy. It's an enormous wealth generator. It's important we police and protect that well, and we think there's more we can do, and on our own and working with them. Some of that's about the policing on the street and the visibility and taking on the pickpockets, but some of it, you mentioned the flying squad. We see organised gangs looking to rob shops, sometimes maybe try and rob a phone shop of hundreds of phones. We're having big success on that because that's where the flying squad skills are best deployed to. So we're giving them some extra resources so that we can bear down on that to increase that sense of safety in the centre of London, in the West End, as well as in town centres across London. Yeah. It's not for me to comment on court decisions, is it? As I understand it, all this means is at some point in the future there's going to be a hearing that's going to look at the decision the Home Secretary made to declare Palestine Action a terrorist organisation. I completely understand why she made that decision. As long as that's the law, we will enforce the law rigorously because supporting a terrorist organisation is a serious offence.